For generations, Chef's Restaurant has been a Western New York tradition, and now the Billittier family is taking that tradition from the dining room to supermarket freezers with a brand new line of their most popular Italian specialties. Join us as we sit down with Lou Billittier Jr., Mary Beth Billittier, and longtime family friend and actor David Boreanaz as they discuss a 2-year journey that began in 2024. A story of vision, hard work, and a major investment that's launching an exciting new chapter for two families whose friendship has lasted a lifetime. Hey, it's Joe Buddy Bob Koshinski. It's an honor to be here today in the brand new Chef's Frozen Food Laboratory, I guess we can call it, right? Production house. I have the famous David Boreanaz. We'll talk more about him and his dad in just 2 seconds. And of course, Lou Billittier Jr. And Lou, this has been a project that you've been working on for over a year.
Oh, yeah.
And today's a very special day because you have David who's come in, and David you would refer to as a cousin, right? Italians would refer somebody as close as
straight up
Boreanaz,
straight up
right?
cousin, come on,
right?
Absolutely.
So, David, what brings you to Buffalo? This is a new rollout of a product that, as I said, is so near and dear to Lou's heart. And you grew up basically in the loving arms of the Billittier family.
It was an open door policy of love and joy, and
my parents bringing us in to see their family sitting at the table, the checkered tablecloths. Everything was so iconic and so memorable for me. And obviously the food was spectacular, but it was the love that was put into the sauce, into the making of the meatballs, the making of the chicken dishes, the parm, all of it had the passion and love in it. And that really is the difference between going to a restaurant or a spot and just getting served for being served, right? This is an experience, and always was for me growing up as a kid. And I'm just so honored and humbled and grateful to sit next to this guy and be a part of something that is a story of tradition and a story that goes back, and I'm just excited about it.
So your dad was a big part in the 60s
Yes.
of helping to promote Chef's Restaurant, whether it was on Dialing for Dollars, and he'd come in, and he's told us the stories. He would come in between breaks and sit down with Lou Sr., and he would enjoy whatever was on, whatever Lou served him that day. It was like, he said it was like going home to see Mom in the kitchen.
Yep.
He put out whatever. And you grew up as a young child hanging out with the Billittier children with Mom and Dad.
It was a family affair, and I will say that, obviously in my imaginary sense of storytelling, it would almost be like The Sopranos with the love of the food, but not the gangster work, right? It was just the love of the understanding of how it all operated. Your dad ran an amazing business, upfront, transparent, to the point, strong, independent recipes that he had and used. And my father was sitting around. He said, "Hey, Lou, what if we put on a little cheese on top of the spaghetti and see what happens?" He's like, "Yeah, it's a good idea. Let's try that out," right? So they experimented together.
Yeah.
And they came up with the famous spaghetti dish. And it was a testimony to the two of them. Just, I would call it like just having espresso together or having an after-dinner drink together or whatever that is, telling stories about their day and coming up with something that's become very big in Western New York and Buffalo and areas now. I mean, I'm coming from the West Coast. People know the Chef's Restaurant. Entertainers in my field know the Chef's Restaurant. Hockey players, football players know the Chef's Restaurant. People in Florida, people in the Midwest. And we're hoping to have everyone experience the Chef's Restaurant now with what you've created here. So, great work.
So, Lou, whether it's Buffy the Vampire Slayer or Angel or Navy SEALs or Bones, or, I mean, David's just iconic as far as his roles. And he's actually a little bit older than he looks. He looks much younger.
Wow.
Than it's
Nice. It's that California sunshine.
that clean living. So, Lou, how are you going to parlay the popularity of this great actor who grew up, in your dad's restaurant, your restaurant, Mary Beth's restaurant?
Right.
How does that work now with Chef's Frozen Food?
Well, the biggest thing is, as David said, it's about family, it's about commitment and quality. And David is the example of that. I mean, look at the career he's had. I mean, we couldn't be prouder of him. It's like having my little brother on TV, for God's sakes. He was born at the same time my sister was born. I've got a picture of the two of them in diapers. I mean, so we've been together forever. And when we wanted to do this, we wanted to honor my dad and David's dad. So we said, look, let's get together, but it's got to be a quality product. We don't have preservatives. We don't use pressed chicken. We use a real chicken breast. And when you eat a Chef's Frozen meal, you're going to be full. You go and you get, and it's not to pick on Stofers or anybody, but 3 bites and you're done with a frozen meal. This will fill you up, and it's a quality restaurant meal. And that's when David and I talked. That's what we wanted. We want people to feel that love and feel the tradition that's there.
And David, you've talked about trying to duplicate the spaghetti parm in your own kitchen.
It's very difficult.
Yeah, but now you can do it.
Now you can. I mean, all you have to do is order it. And that's like, the bottom line is, I've tried to make spaghetti parm. I make a great sauce, right? My lasagna takes at least 3 days. There's a whole process to the Italian way of cooking. And I've tried the spaghetti parm with my sauce, and it's just not the same because of the ingredients that they have used for so long. Now you can get it delivered to your home, and it's fresh.
Yeah.
I mean, it is frozen, fresh They flash freeze.
Flash freeze.
Yeah, it's amazing what these machines can do. I was blown away. This thing only cost $1.25, right?
I think a little bit more than that.
But I mean, to be a couple more. Just to be able to have that process, get it to the customer, and you will be eating stuff that's right from the chef's restaurant. He would used to send me sauce, and he would send it, in plastic containers.
Right.
I remember, and it would come, and it was dry iced, and I got that feeling of that sauce, that taste. It's just like, it's like there's no other. You just have this sense of like, wow, it's like just so good, it's so fresh, and it's just really delicious. And for me, it was like, hey, now we're offering this, what you guys do and have done, and it's the same.
So, Lou, how are you going to use David in the promotion of your frozen product?
Wow, it's a good question.
Yeah,
I'm
not
still trying
really
to figure that
using
out
them.
myself.
I'm not using them. We partnered up in this. Myself, my sister, and David, the three of us. This is our pet project, basically. And, for David to take time out of his busy schedule on the West Coast, he's coming in, helping us promote it, but also to, he's the George Clooney of spaghetti parm. If it was tequila,
Wow.
George has got tequila, David's got spaghetti. Wow.
And meatballs and sauce.
Yeah,
and
you're saying you're not using it,
about
but
it.
if he was an accountant in East LA, he's not on your packaging. He is a television star.
Right, but what came from that is that I came in through the doors through my parents, who were friends with Lou Billittier and his wife. So it's family. It's not about that. It's about the tradition. It's about carrying on something that we're committed to doing because of what our parents have given us.
And you're excited about being a part of this.
Of course I am. Listen, I'm honored to be here because of what the moments I've had with the restaurant and the sauce and the friendship.
All right, so you talked about Mary Beth grew up with David. We're going to bring Mary Beth on set. So, Lou, we're going to say goodbye to you, and we're going to bring Mary Beth in.
All right.
Sounds good. Okay. And now we have the lovely Mary Beth Billittier with us. And Mary Beth, crib mates, right? You grew up together.
We did grow up together
In the restaurant.
in the restaurant.
Well, yeah.
She saw me coming. She's like, not him.
Run, it's David.
It's a terror. What's he doing in the phone booth? What is going on?
So, Mary Beth, your family, of course, everybody knows about chefs with your dad and your mom. Your mom was very much a part of the business. And then after your dad left us, your mom was, the matron of the family, and she oversaw yourself and Lou. And now your mom is gone. So it's you and Lou. And you will what's the term I'm looking for? But you will become a saint. You will become a saint.
I will.
Canonized.
I will. David, I'm going to be a saint.
For putting up with your brother Lou.
Unbelievable.
But frozen food, a new venture for yet another, for the Billittier family.
It is. It is. We're excited. We're so happy that David is with us. Again, it's like we've been saying, it's family, tradition. And we want to bring that back to the community and get some of that back in the world.
And we were talking about that at lunch today. We were talking about how obviously the environment has changed, the world's changed, the energy is different. Back in the day, there was more presence because you weren't distracted by so much that was destroying the dopamine and crushing. Now it's like, hey, what can we bring back? The traditions of the chef's restaurant, the food, the taste, and that energy. And I think it's a great thing to be a part of,
And Mary Beth, dining habits have changed, especially in the city of Buffalo.
They have. More people are working from home, so we don't have that lunch crowd anymore that we used to. People just are not going out as much, so we're trying to bring it home to them.
It'd be great, and I could foresee this happening right now. We get this product across the country. If you build it, they will come. And I believe they will come. So those low lunch lines may become huge. We're talking lines outside the door because they want to get the authenticity of it. But they can get the authenticity now, and it's going to be delivered to their home. And that's what's beautiful about this product.
Well, and people have asked me, what's the difference between what Mary Beth and Lou are doing now as opposed to the frozen food they sell out of the restaurant? And the difference is they can get it in a local supermarket. They don't necessarily have to be at your location on Seneca Street. It will be available in many locations around Western New York and beyond.
Correct. Yep. We're going to be in Tops, Wegmans, hopefully Giant Eagle, smaller mom and pop stores. So
And Wegmans, it stretches pretty
that
much
stretches.
far. I mean, I
Yeah.
know I remember when Wegmans came to Philadelphia. That was like a big thing. People
is.
went just to go to the grocery store.
Wegmans is huge.
Yeah, so that's
It's a different
great-
experience.
It is.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, David, you grew up with Mary Beth.
Yep.
To a certain extent. You left us when you were, 7 years old?
About 7, yeah.
Did you ever come back to visit Buffalo with your dad? Did that ever happen? You had family here, right?
No, yeah. I was one of my best friends, one of the Sapphires, Joe Sapphire. I would come back in summers. So from like 8 to 13, I'd always come back in the summer and I'd stay here for a month. And I'd stay with my grandfather on Summer Street. I love spending time with him. So my memories of him taking me to the chef's restaurant was golden. Just to be able to spend time with him and in the house that my father was raised in.
Right.
And then him taking me to the chef's on my summer breaks when I was with my best friend was the coolest thing ever. It was like, that would just top off a day at Daring Lake from what I remember. It was really just a great experience. And that's what I love about it.
So, Mary Beth, what would your mom and dad have to say about the frozen food business?
They would probably think Louie and I are crazy doing this at this age, but I think they would be so proud and honored that we're carrying their legacy to another level. And of course, having David with us because David is our brother.
It's his family.
Yeah.
It's so sweet. And my parents today are like, "You're going to Buffalo. Tell, kids I said hi." I mean, it's remarkable how close the family is and how they've maintained that. And it really, when you think about it, not just the quality of the sauce and the stuff, but like a story like the spaghetti parm story is and how it lives today and how it started on a small table and on an afternoon or, hey, let's just try this. And now here, look at it. And I think that story needs to be saved and brought down, and that's what we're doing.
And your dad did change with the times. He was very much on board with selling the sauce in the local supermarkets. That was a big promotion.
It was. He was all on board. A funny story that I remember Louie and my dad telling me was when they were making it, my father's head was actually in the kettle, making sure that it was the same quality.
Wow.
Because it's all about the quality.
Yep.
Well, the quality is going to be there. That's a guarantee. David, I know you wouldn't be a part of it if you didn't think this was going to be the quality item that you can get on Seneca Street.
100%. And that's what, when Lou Jr. called me, I was like, hey, we maintain the quality. There was not even a second guess. I was like, I'm there. I'm in. I can eat spaghetti parm for a long time.
So, Mary Beth, thanks for joining us. And David, of course, I know it's a big deal to the Billittier family to have you come to Buffalo and to be a part of this big venture.
I'm grateful and I'm honored to be a part of this, just family in this tradition. So God bless the Billittiers and your mom and dad, and they're looking down on you.